Hey guys, it is me, Tanya, founder of the TNG Designs Group Limited. I hope you're all keeping safe and well. Now in today's video, we're going to be talking about 5 reasons as to why branding won't work. Now, as always, I've got a really cool gift to be able to share with you, but you can stick around to the very end to understand and see what that actually is. And also, folks, make sure you go ahead and like and subscribe to my channel because I want to make sure that you do not miss out on any other video that I go ahead and upload. So without further ado, let's go. So, okay, as I said, we're going to be talking about 5 reasons as to why branding won't work. And if you're in the position where, do you know what, you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, annoyed at the fact that, do you know what, why is every Tom, Dick and Harry sort of getting ahead of me, you know? What is it that is pushing them forwards? Well, probably 9 times out of 10, it's because they're actually shouting a hell of a lot louder than you. And equally, they're being a bit more specific as to who they're talking to. So these particular 5 reasons are going to be what I would love for you to go ahead and address, and just equally make sure that you're actually checking in on, especially for your brand, to make sure that you are equally stepping up and showing up as you should do. So number 1, the first reason why brands don't usually work is because they're literally hitting and hoping. They're literally throwing the world at a wall, a social media wall, a website wall, a digital wall, whatever that wall may be. They are throwing everything at it and literally just thinking, do you know what, let's see what sticks, let's see what happens. But they're not being specific as to the type of messaging they're putting out there. They're not addressing what I like to call the brand power of 3. And I know you guys have actually heard me speak about this before, and I typically repeat myself about this because it is super key and important. Now, your brand power of 3, which is your vision, your purpose, and your values, those 3 things are super key and important because it's the difference between your brand falling flat versus your brand actually standing out amongst your competition and getting the recognition that you know that it actually deserves. So start thinking about what your vision is. Start thinking about what your purpose is. Start thinking about what your values are, even more importantly, because that's what's going to help you to make sure that you stand out from your competition and get seen, get noticed, and boost your visibility. Now, number 2, the number 2 thing that a lot of people sadly don't even think about, and it's a typical thing, especially when you're getting started as an entrepreneur, as a business owner. You know, it's a case of not speaking the right language. Are you speaking the right language? Now you're probably thinking, Tan, what does that even mean? What does speaking the right language even mean, right? Are you speaking a language that your audience can actually resonate with? Because as business owners, as entrepreneurs, you tend to get into the detail of things. And I'm speaking very much so from experience. Because especially from what I do, my thing is about getting into the detail, because in the detail is where all the juicy stuff, all the good stuff actually lies. So the details are actually what helps to bring about a brand, what helps to bring about the visual aspects of what somebody is looking like out there, you know, and sharing with the masses. But when it comes to speaking to the right people, when it comes to speaking to your audience, you need to make sure that you're actually talking in a way that they actually understand. Are you speaking their language? Are you speaking pretty much, you know that phrase, speaking in layman's terms? That's what we have to make sure that we do when we are speaking in a language or using phrases, using acronyms that don't necessarily resonate with certain people. That's why if you notice, before I said VPV, I actually said to you values, vision, and purpose before I actually said the VPV part, right? So do that. Educate people as you're speaking to them. Make sure that you get them. Make sure that they understand that you get them as well. And that is super key and important. Number 3 is, I pretty much touched base on it just a minute ago, but understanding the idea of who your audience actually is in the first place. Who are you speaking to, right? Now, I know I've done a video about this as to where you can find your audience, and it really does depend on the type of audience pool that you're actually tapping into. Now, I've spoken before about the idea of there are 3 specific people that you actually do need to make sure you are aware of. Number 1, first and foremost, is obviously your clients, right? Number 2 is understanding your connection, who you are connecting with. And number 3 is understanding who your competition is. But all 3 of those people can actually become your collaborator as well, especially with the likes of the competition. Your competition doesn't have to be somebody that you push away or that you think negatively of. No, your competition can actually be somebody who you actually work with. And that is super key. And a lot of people don't actually think about. But equally, understanding who your audience is, the right audience, don't be afraid of homing in on a specific group that you can actually resonate with. Think about your best client. Who was that person? Think about the person who didn't bat an eyelid about the prices that you were charging. Think about the person who actually really resonated even more so, more importantly, with the type of product or service that you were offering them. That is your ideal client. Those are the type of people that you need to speak more and more to. Equally, your connections that you're making. When you know your VPV, there's a reason why I said it first, you're going to know who you actually want to connect with, who you want to collaborate with, who is your competition, because you know what, they're going to have similarities to you. When you know your values in specific, this is why I always say to you guys, lead with your values. I say it for a very good reason, because they're going to steer you in the right direction. It's similar to how you have that gut feeling, you know, that churning in your stomach almost, right? When you know an idea is right and maybe a tiny bit scary, but you know that it aligns with your values, that's the one that you go for. So number 4 is understanding this particular part, which is stop hiding behind your product or your service. Now, what do I even mean by that? You see, there's a lot of people out here, folks, who are literally hiding behind their product or their service. When you go to their websites, you see a whole ream of products that they offer. You see everything about their business, but you don't see much about them. They're usually secondary, or even like a few pages or 10 scrolls or so down the page, right? No, show up as you, because people buy from people. It's super important that people see who you are. It's super important that people get to understand, oh, okay, this is the person that I'm buying into or investing into. Because especially after what's happened over the last few years, now more than ever, it is super congruent for you to be you. It is super important and key for you to show up as you, because people buy from people. It is as simple as that. And the 5th and final thing, folks, is understanding the idea of showing up. I touched base on this just a minute ago, right? When you're not showing up as you, when you're not showing up with your authenticity of who it is that you are, it shows. And people naturally turn away from that. Don't do that. As I said just a minute ago, this is your opportunity to be you. Show up as you, show up with that authentic tone, show up with the beliefs and the values that you have. Use that to push your brand out. Because as I said, it's super key, especially if you want somebody to go ahead and resonate with your product, your service, what it is that you do, who it is that you are, you need to be showcasing that. And especially if you're out here on the social medias, right, on the social media platforms. Think about all these aspects that I've just spoken to you about. Everything from your VPV all the way through to who your audience is, how you're speaking to them, and equally how you are showing up in front of them, right? Think about all those aspects. What information are you actually putting out there? And I'm going to go specifically in one of my next videos where I actually talk about the type of information that you are putting out there, the type of language that you are speaking to your audience with. Think about that. It is super key, folks. I cannot stress to you enough. Those are particularly the 5 reasons as to why brands don't work. So get yourself out of that box if you are in that box. Equally, make sure you're standing out as you should be standing out. Be seen, get visible, and literally boost your status so you can start being remembered and start setting your reputation as it should be set. Now, folks, I really hope that that really resonated with you. Go ahead and like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so you do not miss out on another video. Equally, remember to go ahead and download your guide. This is my gift from me to you. I want you guys to go ahead and read it, because you know what? You're going to learn about really cool principles that will allow yourself to escalate or even to scale up within your brand, so you can get seen, boost your visibility, and equally show up with the status and the grandeur of your brand that you know that you have, and you know that you deserve to be seen with, because yes, you do deserve it. So folks, I really hope that this message resonated with you today, and equally you got something from it. Please go ahead and share this video, and as I said, go ahead and like and subscribe to my channel. And folks, I will see you on the other side. Take care, guys.